Hey, thank you very much for tuning in to West Coast Custom Concrete. We are in Calabasas area. This is in LA. I did this about a week or so ago. We got some floating steps. It's basically a whole remod of the whole front yard, but we broke it down different ways. And my friend right there, Matt from Workhorse Hauling, he demoed it, and he's from that area, so he called me. He had it all demoed out, and he called me, and I met the people, and we went over how we were going to design it, what we were going to do. So we ended up floating them. This thing came out. It's just so elegant. They wanted me to design it, and like I told them, if you want me to design it, I don't use any colors. I don't stamp the front of it. I think it looks so horrible. It doesn't look good like that for me at all. It looks really tacky. So if you can make something subtle, beautiful, you're good at what you do. And I like it like timeless. Were to look good 20 years from now, it would have looked good 20 years ago, you know? That's my feeling on it. I had to stay in a hotel. That's me right here. I was pretty tired. I wasn't feeling that well, so I had Javier on the tractor. My friend brought his tractor and his trailer, so I just came up in my car and stayed at a room. I didn't have to bring any of my equipment or nothing. I didn't bring my pump. I just called another guy with a pump. But this is Matt from Workhorse Hauling brought me out here. Pretty basic stuff. It's really came out really nice and matches this house just perfectly. That's something I'm really good at, is what design for the house and what kind of style will fit the house in the neighborhood. I never overdo it or underdo it. Like, people out here don't stamp. That's what I'm saying, and they don't stamp the front of it with those stupid whatever you call those things. It's contemporary look. It's really solid looking, but it's subtle. You know what I mean? And we had a good elevation here. I want to get about 15 or 18 wedding cake, but this wasn't steep enough. I got 5 out of this one. Javier had it 5 feet wide and straight, and then I changed the whole thing. I widened it, and I angled it up towards this walkway up front. It's a 6-foot walkway. They have a really good size front yard. I'm going to have to go back after they landscape it and DG it and put all their flowers and everything in. But, it's at 2 hours from my house or something like that. So I just stayed up here in a hotel for 3 days and 3 nights. I thought it was going to be 4 because the way you have to pour the floating steps. But we did it in 3 days and got out of there. And I brought my buddy D with me. He helped me film and stuff like that. So here's the setup here. I mean, this thing is lights out. This is a really, really nice set. It's elegant. It's really sleek. And the people, Matt and Haley, were the coolest people who own the house and the homeowners. And they basically, on every job I go on, they basically let me just do whatever I want on it. There's our human tamper there. I know you guys how much you love that with the vibroplate. But Kevin is better than a vibroplate. So the master himself was setting these up, Javier, and I think we had 3 setup guys and 2 laborers. I think we had each day. I can't remember. When I'm out of town, I'm out of it. But I love doing jobs like this. So I'll probably be doing a lot of stuff up in Calabasas, Malibu. It's like Woodland Hills, Malibu, Thousand Oaks. It's like in the valley. It's that area-ish. I'm not that familiar with it. I know a little bit about it, but it's 2 hours from my house. There's just traffic nonstop. So Milton's setting up these sidewalks, and I think I got Javier and Milton Jr. setting up the stairs. You guys are going to love this. This is one of my favorite sets. I like the way it's set because the corners line up so it is wedding cake-ish, but it would need another need a landing and then 4 or 5 more above it. And then you could really get the wedding cake effect. And I haven't found a set that's has that much height from the sidewalk to the front door that I could do that to, which that's what I want to do. I want to do a killer set of a wedding cake. But I was happy with these. These were nice. It's like 30 grand to do a set of steps. You know what I mean? 25 grand. They better come out perfect. I'm more amazed how many people can't do them, Everyone says they can out here, and I go to pump it, or the homeowner sends me pictures of it, and it's just completely wrong. See, that's a setup 3. So we're going to pour those 3, and then we're going to come back the next day and set the next 2 up. and then we'll pour them. You guys will see them. You guys will love it. It's the here's the pump company that came out. His name was Ricky. Guy was cooler than hell. He had a 565 Olin. He saw me and he goes, "No way, that's you, West Coast." Yep. What are you doing way out here? He was all excited that he came out to my job and stuff because I just called the concrete hookup I had and had him bring me a pump. So he's setting it up here. It's an easy pump job for him. That's the homeowner, Matt, right there. We had some pipes he was dealing with. So they're going to DG it and put a new lawn in, and I'll come back and film it when it's all done. You can see we're packing sand around the perimeter so nothing boils out up underneath it. Excuse me. So if concrete boils underneath and you don't get to it and you have to shake it and hammer it, the forms to get it out, and you break the top off, you're basically screwed. So you have to think of every possible thing that could happen, and if you don't want anything to billow underneath of it, concrete or anything. You can pour the steps at a 5.5 is fine. This job came out real nice. And don't forget to check out my media girl, Sydney Ray 05 on Instagram. Support her always. That's Sydney Ray, SYDNEY, Ray, RAY, 05. Of course, I'm going to help him pump. I just helped him out pull the hose. Cakewalk pump job. It's probably 100 feet of hose, 75 feet of hose or something. I think the whole job was probably about 15 yards, I believe. That's a slump we're using. We got to strip everything that day. No retardant, which I usually use, but we just shot the primer in a wheelbarrow. And then we're going to... got it on chairs. You guys love that. See that? Adobes and chairs for you guys. Just kidding. This concrete was super sweet. California's got nice mixes because there's a standard because everything's pumped. So if it's not going through the pump, you're going to have a problem. But like I was saying, everyone keeps saying they can do these floaters, and customers call me and say, this guy set this up, and they show me pictures, and I'm like, hey, I don't want to say anything bad about a contractor or whatever, but if he pours that, you're going to have to hire somebody to rip him out because that's set up wrong. I don't see what the big deal is. What's so difficult about it? There's nothing hard really about it. Once you have done a set, you know how to do it. So I'm the shovel man, the rebar man, and we got plenty of guys on this. Came out real nice. Used a light broom on it. I could have sand washed it. I want to mix it up a little bit, I want to represent, like I said, West Coast. I mean, nobody's doing this. Nobody knows how to do it, evidently. Everyone says they can, but I want to see them do it. So one of these YouTubers, let's see one of these bozos try something besides a driveway and a patio. Sick of these clowns on here. They're like little bitches. They keep talking shit, and then if you say something about them, they get all butthurt or take themselves too serious. It's kind of comical, but I don't even pay attention or watch any of them. I have before, and it was pretty good, but when you're laying stuff down like this and the clientele you're getting, I'm going the route I want to go, where I'm starting to do entries in the stuff that I want to do. Stuff like this is what I want to do. So it's just going to keep snowballing the more sets of them I get, and then I'll have the company doing the work what I want to do. I want to do entryways and stuff like that. We use a lot of walk behind tools in California. And the work I put up speaks for itself. You don't really need to say much. I mean, look at the last floating steps. I like these just as much, maybe better. I like the way they're angled. They're all different. They're all unique because you have different elevations and different situations and soil on every job you go on. So every set you do is going to be unique and different, Their floating is floating, but these stand out a little bit to me differently because the height was different. The last set I did was flatter, and I had to make them longer to get more of them in there. This has 5, I believe. Generally, I'm charging between $500 and $7,500 per step, but on this job that wasn't doable because I had the walkway, I had the driveway, and it was all demoed out. So I gave them a really sweet deal, and they just were good. I thought originally there was going to be 2 steps on the bottom, And we put that board in right there against the porch to make it higher because they're going to put flagstone on it. So we had it all set up for the right height for them. But we were going to, the original, they just had a walkway with 2 steps at the bottom. And the lady was such a nice lady. Her name was Haley. And I said, hey, Haley, why don't I just float those for you? You know, try and get 4 or 5 out of it. We'll make it look real good. That's an upper step tool, edging. That's an edging tool that Milton Jr. is using there. He's even saying, people keep saying he's not edging it, he's not doing this, and he's just showing you what he's doing. You know, they got the sweet tools out here, Roseboro, and all the, you get whatever you want. And if you got a certain step or size, they'll make you the tool. If they don't have it standard, that's what's cool about here. She was stripping it that day, which you guys seen me do it before. And I'm not, you know, I make videos. I do concrete to put videos up. I'm not trying to be a YouTuber or I have this many subs or this or that. I'm putting the work up to try and really leave a good legacy. And when I sell my company with my YouTube and all the advertisement, it's worth a good amount. And someone who takes it over really takes the pride and keeps it going the way I did it. Because I don't have any sons to pass it down to. I just have 2 daughters, which they're obviously not going to pour concrete. But these things, once you get them down, it's not that difficult to do. You just have to edge it and tool everything as you go. I'd like to get some more of these in town, which I bid a couple of them recently, so I'll probably be doing more. Like I want like about 5 or 8 sets of them on my YouTube, so I can categorize them different. But I'm looking for a wedding cake set. I haven't found yet. You need some serious height differential from the driveway, sidewalk, street to the floor and finished floor in the house. This was pretty steep, and originally this thing only had 2. It like sloped way down to the driveway right there, handle left by the guy in the orange, and there was 2 steps there originally. I saw it because my friend who demoed it sent me a picture of what it looked like before he demoed it, so I saw it. So I thought we were putting it back with 2 steps, and I saw it in person. I'm like, whoa, how friggin' steep was this thing? And the lady said, yeah, it was really steep. That's what it looks like when you pour it correctly. So if you're going to have it done at your house or whatever, and they got it all set up, you better abort that mission. So you got to know how to get the elevations, the distances. And when you form the other steps, they go past onto these ones. That's how you form it up. And you get a 1x4. And we were putting foam on it, expansion foam, and taping it and gluing it so you can slide it out from the front. And it peels right off. There's the master brooming. And this place came out real nice. When I get they get it all landscape, I'll go back and refilm it. You know, I'm the only guy on here that a lot of jobs I do are worth going back to refilm once it landscaped for homeowners and people. There's Milton, he's killing it. Javier, it's nice weather, wasn't too hot out. We all stayed in the hotel. There's the new walkway there. Check out those floaters. We just put a light broom on them. The next video I put up will be the whole job. Look at that. Flawless. Just a certain elegance and class to these floating steps that you got to have the right touch to achieve. But if you do achieve it, it's worth, man, this house probably boosted up probably 150, 180 grand if they had it reappraised from this facelift I gave it in the front, and they put the yard in and everything. See, the top one's floating too. That's the 5th one. And here's a setup here. This is another day. We're going to set the other 2 up and pour them. See how we overlap it on the existing? But this is just people with class and nice houses are calling left and right on this. So I'm going to go to a different level financially, what I'm doing. I'm not really a concrete contractor. I'm more of a designing artist concrete guy with the stuff I'm going to be doing. We didn't put any planters in this. They didn't want it, which made sense. But I wanted to be a designer, putting the thing together, making it happen. And that's the stuff I want to do. See how we overlap it on top of it? And the 1x4 goes up underneath the front of the 4x4. So you have the 3.5 hangover, and then you can pull the 4x4 and you leave the bottom board in. See the one with the tape on it and the foam on it? And then we pull that out. It's a little bit tricky. I mean, you got to have a guy with you that can guarantee knock it out so you can see it be done. I do a lot of consultations and stuff. I got away from it because I forgot to say it in my videos. But I do a lot of consultation for pumping, what equipment to buy, floating steps, whatever they got. If they got a set of plans, designing it, architect, whatever. I do a lot of that. I just haven't done it in the last few videos because I forgot to speak about it. But you don't like this kind of knowledge and it's arrogance to you, then you shouldn't watch it. You should go watch all these other humble people, you know, and you can watch them work and learn nothing, or you can learn stuff like this and you can make 25, 30 grand on a set of steps. So regardless of how I deliver it, I deliver it. You know? I don't give this stuff up for free. All screws, no nails on steps, these kind of steps. You guys know it's way easier just to use screws and to strip it. There's my man Kevin there packing that sand in there. Make sure you pack it in so it doesn't billow out. Even if you do the diamonds with the grass in between, I always pack sand in so you can get the forms out. Otherwise, you can't get the forms out. But I think you guys are really going to like this set here. So this is the last day here. Everything's poured out. I think we just have 2 steps, I believe. Javier wants to back him all the way in there. I didn't bring the pump. I didn't call for the pump. It's only... Probably was a yard and a half. I ordered 2.5. You don't want to... It's not coming up short on floating steps. Is not something you really want to do. But a couple yards extra is just collateral damage. Which was really weird was I've heard a lot of people ask if they charge you to take extra back, and I've never heard of it out here. And these guys were claiming that that's what they do now. And I said, you're high, bro. I'm not paying nothing for you to take back extra. You go, oh, no, I wouldn't charge you, but I'm just saying we charge now. So I guess that's a thing now, that if you have a yard or 2 extra, they charge in a disposal fee. Because I've heard guys from other states say that, and I couldn't even relate to it. I'm like, what are you talking about? But yeah, they're doing it here now. Matter of time, right? But the hookups I have, and I have hookups in LA, Riverside, Orange County, for pumps, concrete, whatever I need, finishers. I'm known all over. With a good reputation, I treat people right. I'm honest. Anyone needs a favor, I'll help them out, whatever. Look at that look. You'll see it when it's stripped. I think I did a better job filming this time, DNI. I'm a little wobbly right here, but there's the truck there. We just backed him up right there. It didn't have much in it. It was probably, what do you guys think those 2 steps were? A yard and a half, probably? I think I ordered 2.5. 2 steps, dry as can be. We didn't put any chemicals, no, nothing in it. Just straight 3,000. Straight cement, microfiber. I want to see this house when the grass is in and they're putting DG in between it. It should be pretty good. That's when the dude's telling me, oh man, we charge for extra. And I'm like, yeah, right. They were cool though. I mean, they knew that I wasn't going to pay that. So we're doing this Midwest style. We could have brought a Georgia buggy. We could have actually rented one. I actually saw one for rent. I've never seen one before. I'll bring one on one of my jobs. We'll have to debunk these clowns that say, oh, you can do a half a yard and do a full truck in 30 minutes. We'll check it out and see. I'll bring my pump too. Just so when we show what a joke that thing is, we'll just dump it in my pump. We have a little extra for the edges. But this thing came out just, wow. I'd like to have this entry. I'd like to have a house with the elevation where I could do something like this at my house. We're just dropping some rebar on the edges, just all, and then cross it. Just just to hold it together. Just Javier's knocking it down as we go. The next driveway will show the whole remodel. I'll show the steps in it, everything. And if you're in Orange County, LA, it's pretty much a no-brainer who to call. Come on. If these were easy to do, everybody would be doing them. So it's just a troweling game on it. You just got to stay on it. Stay on it, stay on it. Because they got to look almost etched, and the corners got to be so crispy. It's got to look really perfect. So you have to stay on it. You don't just wait and then go kick back for an hour and pull the forms. And you got to know when to pull them, when to get on it, not to knock the ledge off. We had a problem with one of these ledges, but it was Javier and I's fault why we did. But we fixed it. But generally, you won't have an edge. A problem with the edging or the lip falling off or nothing like that. It's fine. Just stay off them for a few days after you're done. Junior's getting pretty good at these steps, man. We got him troweling them every time we've been pouring them lately. He's getting to be a pro on these. And when you look at the West Coast at the corners, the edges, the squareness, you can see the difference in the work. I mean, you even consider these buffoons on here in the same category as what I'm doing, then you don't know what you're talking about, and they're not even the people I'm targeting to watch me. Because the homeowners know, I mean, out of the gate. They're not impressed whether you have some handicapped kid on a wheelbarrow or homeless guy. It's not how it flies out here, dude. You just gotta do good work, do what you say, be honest, competitive price, and that's what they want to see. YouTube's a great tool, awesome tool. All social media for your work and to showcase what you do. I mean, how would I show this? How would you guys have seen this without social media? So it was cool for me to be able to do this and show people, and other contractors that want to do it, I'm all for it. I get a lot of calls. I'll help them out much as I can over the phone. But homeowners and a lot of people are in love with this look and these steps. And like I said, if you can use no color, no nothing, and make it look elegant and it's timeless, you've captured lightning in a bottle. And that's basically what I've done. I had to redesign these. Javier had them set up a different way. And I said, hey, Javier, don't set them up for a couple hours. Something ain't right. And I kept thinking about it, and then we jogged it, jived it, and that's exactly how I wanted them. I wanted them to fall into the walkway where all the corners line up. You see? See the second, the third, the fourth, and the fifth? The corners? That's how I wanted it. So when they landscape it, they're going to put grass all the way up to it, DG to the right. Everything's broomed on this thing. This dude is a technical master. This whole crew is. Really proud of the work that we do, and the customers that we get are just one awesome customer after another. It wasn't like that prior to social media for me, but it is now, because they know what they're getting, and they're excited, and they say, I know you're going to deliver, you design it. And I said, well, I ain't going to use any color. I'm not doing any of that. I'm going to do subtle. And they're like, no, that's what we want. Go ahead on the last 4 or 5 of these that I've done. So, if they want to design it and put all this color and this stuff, then they just tell me what to do and I'll do it. But this looks way better in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Put a nice sweet broom on this. It just matched the house in the neighborhood. It's a nice neighborhood. It's right above Calabasas. I think this is actually Agora Hills. I think. Just trying to keep it clean so you don't step on it and scratch it. Because there's rocks on it and stuff, It's still soft and green a little bit. I like when Javier goes over it at the end. But there you go. I mean, this is a serious concrete company that does custom work. And check those out. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Drop a comment. You want to know how to do them, let me know. Thank you very much. Check Sydney Ray 05 on Instagram. And have a beautiful weekend. And thanks for watching.